Hi, I'm Patrick Doyle. I'm here at the Milner in LA promoting the release of my third book, and I want to take advantage of this room to talk to you a little bit about haunted hotels. Now this one's about as haunted as a houseplant, but off the top of my head I can name the Stanley, the Coronado, the Queen Mary, the Crescent, Lizzie Borden House, the Roosevelt. See, I personally think that hotels are spooky because they're unfamiliar to us. We're not used to the noises here at night. But with additions like this psycho-proof shower curtain, it seems that hotels are starting to understand this fear. But some could be taking advantage of this phobia and fabricating evidence and inflating the stories of hotel guests just to lure in paranormal research groups and to fill rooms.
Now, I know many of you already know these tricks, but there are others who don't, and I hope you will take what I show you and store the knowledge for when you're reviewing other people's photo evidence. And here's another thought for all of you who have written me from Europe, Asia, and the States. Of course, everything can be faked with today's computers, but with me showing you these tricks, you can be certain that if I present you evidence of a ghost or a haunting that I've captured, you can trust that it's 100% without a doubt real. Like this shot. I took this picture of my wife in New Orleans. It's a couple blocks from Bourbon Street. And I got this strange white mist in the foreground and this blur up in the right-hand corner. So here's the photo negative of it. And the odd thing is, nothing passes in front of the camera, and you can see everything's crystal clear around it and in focus except for that blur. So I don't know what this is. There's my wife in the background, but I can't explain the blur or the mist in front of the lens. With this, I will probably be accused of helping hoaxsters and gain a whole new crop of opposition. But I hope a few more allies will join in as well. And I welcome you all, because it means I'm succeeding in what I set out to do with Haunted Hoax. With controversy comes conversation. And through talking and expressing our thoughts out loud, we will, in time, find the answers to the questions that we all have in common. Now, I'm not going to name names, but there's someone out there creating terrible fakes that surprisingly some people believe to be real. And I won't show you his work, but I'll create a similar image so that if you do come across these fakes I'm hinting to, you'll know how they were done. Alright, here's the example. There you can see the ghostly face in the fireplace. And here's how we're going to start. We're going to start off with this two photos. Here's one of me from a hiking trip. And we're just going to put a few photo effects on it here. And let's see, we'll make it black and white. We'll put a few levels on it. We're going to erase around it. And then we're going to drag it to the fireplace image. Then from there, just blur it, and kind of turn the opacity down, make the shape, put it in place, and voila, you got yourself a ghost. This is actually more convincing than the fakes I'm duplicating, but a fake all the same. These next two use similar Photoshop techniques, but become more convincing when I attach a compelling backstory. Here's an example. I shot this while hiking in Macau, and it'd be a great piece of evidence if it wasn't a... See, there's the ghost back there in this scary old house. And it would be great evidence if it wasn't just one photo here and a photo of my dad. And all I did was, this is how fast I could do it. I'm going to crop out my dad's photo here, drag it over to the scary building photo, kind of flip him around, change the opacity, blur it, erase around him real quick just to get the kind of get the shape and the face I want. Then we'll just kind of position him in place. And there you go. Here's another quick one. Here's in Ireland. It's got like this soldier-looking figure reflected in the lake, but nothing's on the shore. And this started with this image here, just plain image of a countryside, and a picture of my wife. So we're going to do it just like before. We're going to crop her out and drag her over to the photo. I'm going to erase around here. Got a little feathered edge on the eraser. Just do this real quick. So this quick just to show you how easy this is. See. Alright, now it's all erased, got the shape. We're gonna Just kind of transform her into position here. So kind of get the angles right to make it look like there's a reflection in the water. And then from there, we're just going to change the opacity. It's all blurred, and there's your ghost.
This next photo is one of my favorites, simply because it's a single shot. I didn't layer two photos on top of each other, and there are no Photoshop tricks. So what was that figure walking past here wearing the sunglasses? You might be surprised. It was Neo. And let me get behind the camera and show you how I did it. Start by setting up the shot here in this spooky basement hallway. And then we're going to take Mr. Neo and like set him up here. And we're going to put him, just line him up with the camera where you want him. And then as we hit the button on the camera, hit the shutter button on the camera, we're just going to pull him away. And it's going to take a few tries and different speeds to get the blur that you want. But just, it's going to take some timing too. Just hit the shutter button and pull away. And it gives you the effect of a ghost.
Another persuader's location. I see many fakes set in hospitals and abandoned buildings. But just because a place is old and spooky doesn't mean it's haunted. This photo is from an old rundown stable house in Ireland. Just kind of came across it. And you see a strange light here in front of the fireplace. And this all started with just a shot of the fireplace in the old stable house. And this little diamond of white. And I'm just going to stretch it out. I've already turned the opacity down a bit, so we're just going to shape it into kind of a beam here. And then I want to blur it. And then drop the opacity down just a little bit more, and there's our beam of light ghost in the fireplace.
What I've shown here are just computer tricks. I know there are true paranormal photos out there, but and I'm sure you have as well, seen a growing number of fakes which are hindering research and making it harder to convince the skeptics.
People have been creating fake photos since the invention of the camera. And now you've seen how anyone can do it with just a computer and enough free time. So I hope you remember this next time you're viewing evidence people post on the web. And just continue to ask yourself, did it really happen? Did I just want it to happen? Or did someone make it happen?
On the next Haunted Hoax. I'm at the Columbarium in San Francisco, the final resting place of 65,000 cremated remains. Here we'll discuss matrixing and ghostly figures caught on security tapes. Are they just tricks of the eye, or an elaborate hoax in disguise?